Knowledge is a major ingredient for safety. Knowing yourself, your machine, and the job site all contribute to getting the job done efficiently and safely. It is important that you and everyone who operates the machine understand proper machine operation and recognize situations that could result in an accident, injuring yourself or someone working with you. During the next few minutes, you will learn some basic safety rules and instructions associated with the operation of Bobcat all-wheel steer loaders with skid steer capability. These machines are unique in their steering design, employing both all-wheel steer and skid steer modes. They are compact, rugged, and designed for hard work, and as with all types of machines, they must be operated safely. Although this presentation contains many valuable safety guidelines, it should not be treated as the only source for Bobcat loader safety information. The Operation and Maintenance Manual is your primary guide for safe loader operation. Another excellent source is the Skid Steer Loader Safety Manual produced by the Equipment Manufacturers Institute. And some attachments are also provided with a separate operator's manual and safety training video. You will see this safety alert symbol throughout this presentation, as well as in various manuals, the Bobcat Operator's Handbook, and on machine safety signs. It identifies important safety messages. When you see it, be alert to the possibility of serious injury or death. Always follow the instructions in the safety message. This symbol points out actions you should avoid to reduce the potential for serious injury or death and damage to other property. Once you have familiarized yourself with the machine, make certain you are dressed for the job. Do not wear loose clothing or anything else that may catch on controls or in moving parts. When getting on the loader, face the machine. Use the grab handles and steps, maintaining a 3-point contact at all times. Now, adjust the seat. Always fasten the seat belt for restraint. Adjust it so that it is snug across your hips. If your machine is equipped with optional high-range travel speed, the shoulder restraint must be used. Now, lower the seat bar. In addition to being a restraint, the seat bar also acts as an armrest for greater operator comfort. Bobcat all-wheel steer loaders have a Bobcat interlock control system, or BICS, that should be inspected and maintained for proper function. Take time to read the Bobcat Operator's Handbook and any safety signs or other instructional decals in the cab and on other areas of the loader or attachment. The safety signs are important and will help you avoid situations that could result in serious injury or death. Take them seriously. Other safety features of Bobcat loaders include the cab. This structure provides falling object protection, or FOPS, and rollover protection, or ROPS. The FOPS and ROPS should never be removed or modified. All cabs have a rear opening for a secondary exit. Your particular job application could require additional accessories or equipment, such as a special applications kit to restrict materials from entering the cab, single-point lifts, or a backup alarm. Now check the left joystick, which controls the loader's speed and direction. The Bobcat skid steer loader with all-wheel steer offers two different steering modes: the all-wheel steer and the skid steer mode. The all-wheel steer mode is particularly useful when working in areas that require minimum ground disturbance, or situations in which skid steer mode would create more tire wear, such as working on asphalt or concrete. When in all-wheel steer, you get precise steering from the coordinated action of all four wheels. The left joystick controls steering direction and travel speed. When in the all-wheel steer mode, push the joystick forward and the loader will drive forward. Pull the joystick back and the loader will travel backwards. To turn left while driving forward, push the joystick forward and to the left. To turn right, push forward and to the right. To turn left in reverse, pull the joystick back and to the left. To turn right in reverse, pull back and to the right. The joystick moves in a C pattern when changing from a forward right turn to a backward right turn. Reverse the joystick pattern when changing from a forward left turn to a backward left turn. The operator can change steering modes from all-wheel steer to skid steer simply by bringing the loader to a stop, pressing the steering mode selector switch, and the press to operate loader button. Now he's ready to operate in skid steer mode. Changing back to the all-wheel steer mode can be done in the same way. When in skid steer mode, push the joystick forward and the loader will drive forward. Pull the joystick back and the loader will travel backwards. To turn left while driving forward, push the joystick forward and to the left. To turn right, push forward and to the right. To turn left in reverse, pull the joystick back and to the right. To turn right in reverse, pull the joystick back and to the left. To change directions in skid steer mode from a forward right turn to a backward right turn, instead of using a C pattern, use an S pattern with the joystick. First pushing forward and to the right, then pulling back and to the left. Reverse the joystick pattern when changing from a forward left turn to a backward left turn. To make a tight skid steer turn to the left, push the joystick straight to the left. To make a tight skid steer turn to the right, pull the joystick to the right. Finally, to turn the loader around within its own length, continue holding the joystick to the left or right. It is important that you understand this difference in the direction the loader moves when operating in reverse in the skid steer versus all-wheel steer mode. Remember to always look in the direction of travel when operating the loader in either steering mode, and know what selected steering mode you are in before operating. The turning radius in all-wheel steer mode is greater than in skid steer mode. There are switches and buttons on the left joystick to control other loader functions, like the optional 2-speed switch. Press the top of the switch for high-range travel speed. Only the front wheel steer when in all-wheel steer and in high range. Remember to slow down before turning. Press the bottom of the switch for low-range travel speed. Additional switches control certain attachment functions. The inching control reduces travel speed to half that of low range while engine RPMs remain the same, providing the operator full hydraulic speed and power at a slower travel speed. This feature is used when hooking up attachments, fine grading, or using attachments such as a planer. Remember, moving the left joystick smoothly is the best way to operate the loader in either steering mode. You are working with a hydrostatic transmission. The loader will react the moment you move the joystick control. The further the joystick is moved from the neutral position, the faster the loader will go. The right joystick controls the work group, that is, operation of the lift arms and bucket or other attachment. Pull back on the joystick to raise the lift arms. Push forward to lower the lift arms. Pull the joystick to the right to tilt the attachment forward. Push to the left to curl the attachment back. Some switches found on the right joystick control auxiliary hydraulic functions. The small yellow button at the rear of the joystick is the float control, a useful feature when backdragging or leveling uneven terrain. A button on the front of the right joystick activates continuous flow for auxiliary hydraulics. Other controls in the operator cab area include the engine speed control lever. Bobcat all-wheel steer loaders also have an accelerator pedal. The hand engine speed control lever can be set at specific throttle positions. The pedal control increases engine speed as needed. Now let's talk about starting the machine. Ensure the brake is on and the controls are in neutral. check to make sure the area is clear of all bystanders. Start the engine. Never attempt to start the engine or operate the controls from outside the operator's position. This is dangerous and could cause serious injury or death. For example, the lift arms, attachment, or the loader itself could move. Always sit in the operator's seat to operate the machine. Check all controls, gauges, and warning lights. Maintenance of your loader might be necessary before you begin operation. Once the engine is started and the engine throttle is set, get familiar with the operation of the loader and its controls. Run the loader at reduced speed until you understand and can control the operation of the loader. Each Bobcat loader has a rated operating load. These load limits must not be exceeded. Overloading could cause tipping and result in injury and damage to the machine or attachment. Bobcat loaders are provided with different size buckets for use with different material. Be sure to use the correct attachment for your job, and always make sure your attachment is properly secured using the Bobtach mounting system provided. Safe handling of loads requires care and good judgment. Here are a few basic guidelines. Never ram a bucket into a material pile. The loader has more power with only minimum movement of the steering controls. Always carry the load as low as possible for the best stability and visibility. Operate the controls smoothly, keeping your hands on the controls and your feet on the footrests at all times. Never stand, lean, or reach out the front of the loader when the engine is running. A steering control lever or hydraulic control could be activated. Don't make any sudden stops, starts, or turns. Again, operate the controls smoothly. Avoid rough terrain if possible. Be careful on slopes and avoid traveling across steep slopes. Drive straight up or down slopes and keep the heavy end of the loader uphill. With no load, the rear is heavier. Refer to the operator's manual for specific instructions for your loader. Slow down as you approach the dump site. Raise the load slowly, keeping your load level to prevent spilling over the back of the bucket. Never lift, swing, or move a load over anyone. And never allow anyone to reach under or stand under raised lift arms. Always look to the rear before backing up. Look in all directions before moving. And keep bystanders away from the machine. Never carry riders on the loader or on attachments. A Bobcat loader is strictly a one-person machine. Be aware of potential job site hazards, such as overhead power lines and underground power and gas lines. If you must work in an enclosed area, make sure you have adequate ventilation. Exhaust fumes can kill or cause serious illness. When parking or leaving the loader, never leave the loader's seat with lift arms raised or with the engine running. Remember, always lower the lift arms and attachment flat on the ground. Stop the engine and remove the ignition key. And engage the parking brake by depressing the switch on the dash panel. Follow the procedure outlined in the Operation and Maintenance Manual and on the loader's machine safety sign or decal. If the lift arms must be left in a raised position for service work, they must be supported by an approved lift arm support device to prevent accidental lowering. When transporting a loader, follow recommended loading, unloading, and tie-down procedures. It's impossible to cover every situation you could encounter on the job. Be aware of the safety alert symbols and obey all warning signs to avoid injury or death. The Operation and Maintenance Manual is still the best source for information about operation and maintenance. Becoming a proficient all-wheel steer loader operator requires knowledge, skill, and good judgment. Be that kind of operator.